Welcome back to Bishop's Breakdown. We're going to cover the Raw after WrestleMania and Raw last week. And we're also going to talk about the SmackDown after Raw and the WWE releases an Elephant in the Room and my thoughts and why they did what they did. We talk about the Detroit Pistons playoff run so far. And we also talk the Lions draft and who they picked. So that and more on Bishop's Breakdown. So let's break it down. Hey everyone, it's Bishop. I got something special for you today. On the next bonus episode, I'm breaking down the top 4 teams in college basketball, giving you my insider's take and predictions you won't hear anywhere else. Plus, I'll dive into Vince Russo and John Cena's AEW talk and why he's crazy. No fluff, just straight analysis. This episode is exclusive to my Patreon supporters. For just a few bucks a month, you got bonus episodes like this, exclusive merch, and even a chance to ask me questions directly on a live Q&A session. So if you want in, join the crew now. The link will be in the description, and I'd love to have you on board and make sure you never miss the inside scoop. So break that down. So before we start with Raw and SmackDown, let's talk NXT and the fact that the signing of Evil, which is Asuka's fiance, boyfriend, man, whatever you want to call him, has just debuted and looks like he's going to challenge Tony D'Angelo for the NXT World title. So moving forward, I'm going to check out the show every week and let y'all know my thoughts about the big stories and about things that excite me. So let's get into Raw. The basis of the last 2 weeks of Raw was Roman and Jacob Fatu. On the Raw after WrestleMania, Roman came out to celebrate, and Jacob Fatu interrupted him and basically challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship. And, they're going back to the bloodline thing because clearly, they don't have any other ideas. It's like when they do remakes of old movies or sequels. New ideas would have been better, but I'm all for it because I think Jacob Fatu is a superstar. But Raw as a whole for the last 2 weeks have been all over the place. But Joe Hendry is officially a Raw superstar, and he debuted with a concert. Of course he did. And he dissed Logan Paul because we should fire Logan Paul. Yeah. So Logan Paul came out and said, you can't fire me because I don't know. I don't know what you are. I mean, you're Logan Paul. I mean, good for you. But you're not a One Piece fan, so cut that out. I'm more of a One Piece fan than you are, and I've only seen like 40 episodes of the anime, and I read like 3 volumes of the books, and I watched all the live action. But I'm going to start playing the card game. I'm trying to learn. So if y'all know how to play, hit me up in the comments or send me an email to bishopbreakdown@gmail.com and give me some tips and tricks because I'm trying to win tournaments. You feel me? Anyways, back to Raw. And then at Backlash, because Backlash is literally in a week. And we're finally getting Asuka versus Io Sky, which should have been in WrestleMania, but, because they had to have commercials on night one, and they had rush matches or had short matches for I don't know. But there's rumors to the outcome of this match that I'm going to touch into when I talk about WWE releases and the elephant in the room. So stay tuned for that. And SmackDown, going into SmackDown after WrestleMania is always supposed to be a reset. Also supposed to be a new season, as it's so to speak. Like WrestleMania is their end game. And then going forward, they're going to start new storylines. They're going to start new beefs. They're going to start, moving rosters around, cutting people, doing these things, bringing people up from NXT and have different matchups, different challenges for the top superstars or even the mid-card. But this SmackDown felt like they were stuck in mud, and hopefully they'll get to it soon because Backlash is right around the corner, and there's not too many matches from the SmackDown side of things that seems to be evident. Cody Rhodes comes out, has a strong promo, but who challenges him next? I figured it was going to be a rematch with the Viper Randy Orton, since he did kick his head off. I mean, me personally, if I was Cody Rhodes and my eye looked like that, I would be ready to fight Randy Orton again. But I guess we have to tune in on Friday to find out if I'm mistaken or if I'm just crazy. And then we have a new WWE United States Women's Champion in Tiffany Stratton, because it's Tiffy time. And she defeated Julia, and that should have, again, that's another match that should have been on WrestleMania. Like, I don't know, night one, aka Saturday night's main event. Because that's all it was. It was covered in commercials, short matches. You know, like, I literally seen that on Saturday night's main event. Like, it's a glorified house show, but it's WrestleMania night one. But I already talked about that before, and I'm not going to get into it because I'm just going to get angry. And then Fatu showed up because last I checked, he was a SmackDown superstar. And the MFTs, you know, Solo comes out and says, "Without me, you would be nothing." We already did this, and y'all lost that feud. So Jacob did his thing, Solo and the MFTs do their thing, and in the main event was Fatu versus Solo, and he destroyed every MFT person besides Tala, because I think he's hurt or sleeping or got lost in the airport. I don't know. He wasn't there, so Fatu destroyed everybody. But my favorite NXT faction, the Fatal Influence, made a statement. They came out during the Tag Team Women's Championship match with the new champions, Paige and Brie, taking on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And they came out and beat the crap out of all of them. And I'm for it. Jacy Jane is a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. That used to be, what was her name? Mandy Rose's group. But I think Jacy Jane and them leveled up. You know, not saying Mandy Rose wasn't a talker, because she was, and she was getting a lot better in the ring. But these three women are chef's kiss, you know what I mean? And then you can't forget Danhausen. He is super entertaining, whether he's on Raw or SmackDown. His matches aren't terrible. I mean, he's not Daniel Bryan or Will Ospreay or Seth Rollins or Penta or Javon Evans. Like, he's not that guy, but he does what he does. He's like a Santino Marella, but I think he's better. And I'm going to probably buy his merch to support Danhausen, and because he deserves it. He's working really, really hard to get to his point, and I hope nothing but success for Danhausen. And in case you didn't know, and you missed this on WrestleMania weekend, but Trick Williams is a superstar, and he's still a superstar, and he's your new United States champion. So that's what he does, and he whoops that Trick, and he's got Lil Yachty out there, and he just oozes charisma, oozes machismo. You feel me? So I think sky's the limit for Trick Williams, and don't be surprised that in less than a year, maybe a little bit longer, he's going to be a WWE champion, like World Heavyweight Champion, Undisputed Champion, one of the two. But don't be shocked if you see Trick Williams with that goal around his waist. Hey everyone, it's Bishop. I got something special for you today. On the next bonus episode, I'm breaking down the top 4 teams in college basketball, giving you my insider's take and predictions you won't hear anywhere else. Plus, I'll dive into Vince Russo and John Cena's AEW talk and why he's crazy. No fluff, just straight analysis. This episode is exclusive to my Patreon supporters. For just a few bucks a month, you got bonus episodes like this, exclusive merch, and even a chance to ask me questions directly on a live Q&A session. So if you want in, join the crew now. The link will be in the description, and I'd love to have you on board and make sure you never miss the inside scoop. So break that down. Let's get into the WWE post-WrestleMania releases. I got a list here. I'm just going to go through the main roster and a few of the NXTs. So we got, starting from the top, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Kairi Sane, Santos Escobar, Apollo Crews, Zoe Starks, Alba Fire, the entire Wyatt Six, including Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and the Motor City Machine Guns made up of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, and Adrian Chase and Malik Blade and Luca Custafino are gone. Cut. Released. Get out of here. You know? Good luck on your future endeavors type crap. So out of all these, me personally, and a lot of people, especially on the wrestling Twitters, I'll start with the Wyatt Six. I know they've been in how can you put this? A loop. They've been in quicksand. They've been in Groundhog's Day movie reference. Like every Friday, it was the same. It was them versus MFTs. They'll get their lantern back. They'll get Bray Wyatt's lantern back, and then MFTs will steal it again. They'll lose their tag team titles, and they'll get it back from the MFTs. Like they've been doing 8-man tag or 6-man tags, all this for like forever. It feels like for like years, honestly. But it's only been months. But it feels like that's all they were doing, and that's why it's not a shocker to me that they got released. It's a shocker that all of them got released. I thought at the very least Bo Dallas was going to keep his job and go off and be Bo Dallas and instead of Uncle Howdy, and then going forward, you know, be able to I don't know, be able to be there and commemorate, you know, his brother, you know, Bray Wyatt, you know, deserves acknowledgement. So I thought Bo Dallas was going to be able to break off from there and do his thing and show that he's not just, you know, a low rent Temu Bray Wyatt. He's more than that. I mean, you got to Bo leave. So, and then the other ones, I'm going to group them up together. You got Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. I mean, I know they ruined him by just sticking him with the Killer Cross or Karrion Kross and Scarlett's gimmick, where, you know, Scarlett talks for him, which Aleister Black doesn't need anyone talking for him, but same with Karrion. But she would, you know, basically confront whatever dude they were beefing with, and clearly the man can't hit her, so all up in her face, and then, you know, get beat up by Cross or got beat up by Black, or go to people like Sami Zayn and Randy Orton and say, you know, the dark side, you know, trying to get them to embrace the evil inside them, which we've already seen before in Karrion Kross and Scarlett. So it was just a rehash. It was a remake with new actors, is how I felt. And I think right there, they ruined him. I mean, I understand. I don't mind the pairing of Zelina Vega and Aleister Black, but they should have did a whole new thing or whatever they were doing. Just being them, doing what Aleister Black does and just beats people up. You know, Zelina Vega cheers him on, comes out, cuts promos, beats with people, gets championships, and just black mask the crap out of people. And I don't know why that was such a hard thing to do, but they wanted to stick them with whatever, you know, Karrion was trying to do, and that's not, that already gave him the negative. That already killed them. But like that's what they did, and looking back on it, unless they were gonna put him in the Pat McAfee spot, which at WrestleMania would have been amazing. You know, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega distracts the ref or distracts Cody, and boom, RKO out of nowhere, and he won the title, and Aleister Black be like, "See, I was right. You are what you said you were not." You know. So also back to Wyatt Six, they had probably picture perfect chef's kiss debut. I mean, anybody can remember Monday Night Raw, everyone in the back dead. Chad Gable bleeding out his forehead, just dead. Like they murdered, like it looked like a horror movie, like, which is awesome. Like it looked cinema. Like, all the kids say, absolute cinema. And then it went downhill from there. They were after that debut, they were not seen for like a couple weeks, I think. And then they come in and, torment Chad Gable for weeks and weeks and matches, and now Chad Gable is El Grande Americano. So, like, they made him go into witness protection. And and then they moved him to SmackDown, and they were in an endless, depressing loop with MFTs. So what do you expect? You gave them nothing to work with, and they were looking like animation characters. Not even anime, like Bugs Bunny animation characters, going back and forth trying to get some lantern. They should have been a killer group and destroyed the MFTs right where they stand. But no, they were just some dudes getting punked out by Solo Sikoa and the Tongas and JC Mateo. Like, they just some dudes. Like, you went into the supernatural that they can murder everybody standing. But now they running around for a lantern and can't even handle the MFTs. Because they get, destroyed, or they get made fun of, or they get, oh no, where'd the lantern go? I didn't see it. Like, nah, bro. Like, that's not, the beginning doesn't match the end. And that's the reason why I feel it's not a shocker that they got released. And the one I'm super don't understand, like, head scratcher, is Kairi Sane. She was featured every single Monday because she was Asuka's underling. She was Asuka's whipping bag. She was the one that every time Asuka lost or didn't do what she wanted to do, or got disappointed or whatever, or, got her come up, since she just blamed it on Kairi Sane and yelled at her, and been doing it for, feels like, years. And I thought that, sooner or later, Kyrie's going to grow a pair and be like, right to Asuka's face, or crazy thought, spit at her with some green mist or black mist or whatever mist they want to pop up. I mean, me personally, the internet lost it. Like, we want Kyrie. We want, and I agree, because she is dope. She is amazing. Like, it felt like a head scratcher, just like when they got rid of Dakota Kai. But continuing with Kairi Sane, the rumor has it, I mean, it might not happen because we don't have all the power. Us fans don't have all the power. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. But if they bring back Kairi Sane and say, oops, like they did with R-Truth, my thoughts, or the rumors that I'm hearing or seeing, is because they finally doing Io Sky versus Asuka. Asuka's about to win. Asuka's about to do her mist or something, and Kairi Sane's music hits, and she comes out and distracts her, and Io Sky picks up the win, and Kairi gets her come up, or she gets her revenge for being treated like she just some stepchild, and then you can do Asuka versus Kairi Sane. But right now, I mean, they act like Kairi Sane didn't even exist when Asuka was, doing her little stick, doing her little promo in the back with her face all. Asuka's crazy. Asuka's cool as you know what. I love me some Asuka. So I'm just saying, they showed her on one of the promo videos, like, for a second, and the crowd was saying, "We want Kairi." So maybe Backlash is, like I said, just about a week away, 8 days or something like that. So tune to that, because if that happens, we win, and hopefully WWE will see that maybe you should do better and write better stories for these characters going forward, and you wouldn't have to release them because they're making you bootloads of money. Like the other people, like the Alba Fires. I mean, she was just, Chelsea Green's sidekick. And Zoe Starks, last I checked, she was hurt. But she was doing nothing before she really got hurt. She was in that, I think it was the Women's Intercontinental like tournament, and she got hurt. So I don't know. And then Apollo Crews, like they haven't been doing anything with him since he was the Nigerian ruler, destroyer, or something. I don't know what he was, but he was somebody. He was somebody with a African thing or something. So they haven't done it. He's been chilling with Matt Cardona and catering, eating up all the food, all the hog moss, all the pig's feet. You know, he was just chilling. He was just collecting a paycheck and hanging out. Probably main event or something. And Santos Escobar, I thought he was in AAA with who? Angel Garza and Berto. You know, I thought they were a trio and stuff, but I guess Santos got the axe because he was the person that they weren't doing anything with. And the big tag team, Motor City Machine Guns, is a travesty. It is disgusting that Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin got to the company that they deserve to be a part of. One of the best tag teams in the world. And they were relegated to doing nothing for dealing with PTSD, Johnny Gargano, that all he does is lay down and just sulks and depressed, and his tag team partner left him, so he got nothing. But he got a pretty cute wife, and he's part of WWE and he's on TV. But whatever. But that's his character, and most of the Machine Guns were relegated to trying to fix him or deal with him and in-fight beefing about let's worry about most of the Machine Guns. Maybe they should have worried about Motor City. They should have been multiple tag team champions. I don't understand why the Motor City Machine Guns got released. Now they're going to go to AEW and kill it. Like, mark my words, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Motor City Machine Guns, they're going to kill it because they're a great tag team. If you don't believe me, go to YouTube's, go to the search bar, put Motor City Machine Guns TNA matches, and you'll see, like, for real. And then from my neck of the woods, so I'm always going to support the Motor City Machine Guns. So they deserve way more than getting released like that. They didn't even try with them. Like, they debuted tag team champions, blah, 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 lose it, and then they was like, you know what? We're done with you. And they relegated them to random tag team matches, random feuds, never embracing them as one of the best tag teams. Like, Motor City Machine Guns versus the Usos would have been, why didn't we get to see that? I really wanted to see that. Like, even their run, the matches that they had with Fraxium, I'm just saying, with DIY, those were some epic matches, and they still didn't have nothing for them because they don't care about tag team wrestling. They don't care about making new superstars. SmackDown just seems like a cesspool of you got the top people and then nobody else. They're just there to collect a paycheck and be on TV for 5-10 minute matches and just shoot to the next one. Like, no direction, no guidance besides the top people. Like the Cody Rhodes of the world, the Drew McIntyres of the world, the Jacob Fatus, the Rhea Ripleys, the Charlotte Flairs, those people. Everybody else is just flopping in the wind. And that's why you get lists like this every year of people getting released because they're like, oh, budget cuts. Because you're not making them superstars. You're not making them a commodity that you're making tons and millions of dollars off of them. So you use it as an excuse to be like, well, we don't have anything for you. Well, I know this is a crazy thought. Make something for them. Create opportunities for these people. Put them in positions to be superstars. If they fail once you give them the machine behind them, then sure, maybe you have to move on. But if you don't even try and you just hope and pray, please just become popular. And we're not going to try to make you popular. We're not going to make decisions that people will be like, hey, there's somebody I want to get behind. Just throw them out there and be like, If they swim, they swim. If they drown, hey, we didn't try, we didn't waste money on them, so get them out of here, get out of here. But that's not gonna be good. I mean, damn, they did it with Cody Rhodes years ago, strapping him on with that Stardust thing, and was shocked that he wanted to walk because you didn't give him the opportunities to be successful. He comes back, reinvents himself, becomes the American Nightmare, and now he's main eventing WrestleManias back to back to back years, winning back to back Royal Rumbles. WWE champion, 2-time WWE champion, beat John Cena, took out the tribal chief, the OTC himself, after 1,316 day title run. Stardust wasn't going to do that. Stardust was going to be some dude hanging out with Apollo Crews and catering. So create superstars by pushing these people and giving them opportunities to show that they are good enough, that they're great enough. They are these people on this list, for the most part, are great, fantastic pro wrestlers, fantastic sports entertainers. But you didn't give them the opportunities to, go to the crowd and be and them like, oh my God, like they do with Roman Reigns, like they do with Cody Rhodes, like they do with Randy Orton, they did with John Cena, they did with Stone Cold Steve Austin, they did with The Rock. You got to give them the opportunities to be in a position where people saying, that's a superstar. That's what they're doing with Trick Williams. That's what they're doing with Obi Femi. Why couldn't they do that with the Motor City Machine Guns? Why couldn't they do that with the Wyatt Six? Or Aleister Black? Or Zelina Vega? Or Kairi Sane? Why couldn't they just get out of their own way and just let them be them, but put them in a position that they're on TV doing something effective, doing something that's not just a random match out of nowhere and they beat that person or they lose to that person or they cheat to beat that person, but there's a random match and next week they forgot about it. So what do you think I'm going to do? I have to go look it up and be like, oh yeah, Aleister Black did have a match with Rusev, like he did have a match with Sami Zayn. And it after that match, it went to this, like A and B. But they're doing A and they're like, oh, damn, what did we even do? And then they go back to A. And then they go back, then they all of a sudden at E and they're like, sure, we got there. I don't know how we got there. I don't know what happened between A and E, but we're here. And then all of a sudden they don't understand why the crowd's not reacting to these people. Because they don't even know what's going on because you're making it look like they're just there doing things like wrestling. They don't have a story to project them to the stratosphere of being a main eventer or even a upper mid-card person. Because you need all that. You can't just have main eventers and nobody else. You got to have mid-carders, upper mid-carders. You got to have jobbers because somebody got to get beat. Nobody's going to go in there and just have draws. You know what I mean? Like Obafemi destroying people is what he does. Like on Monday when he had that match against Grayson Waller. People are like, oh my God, he went go from Brock Lesnar to Grayson. You need him to beat people until you can get him to the point where he's challenging the Roman Reigns. He's challenging the Cody Rhodes. Like he's challenging for the big titles. He has to beat people leading up to that. He can't go from point A and all of a sudden to Z. You got to have a path because then people are going to be like, doing a strut in the crowd every time he comes out because the superstar is being made in front of their eyes and they're along for the ride. And so they feel like personal connection. That's what we need. Personal connection for these people. And if you don't get these personal connections, then they're just nobodies. They're just some dudes on the roster. Some dude that all of a sudden his music plays and you're excited until the music is off and then you're just sitting on your hands. Looking at these matches like it's not something important. It's just some dudes wrestling for your entertainment for 5 minutes, 8 minutes, and then it's on to the important people who have these promos, who have these backstage segments, who have these interactions with superstars, who have these interactions with legends, You got to be able, you got to build and let these people in the audience who spends thousands of dollars to be front row for WrestleMania to go be along for the ride and feel personal connection. Like, that's my dude. I seen him from, it's kind of like looking at rookies and stuff. Like, oh, I was there for the Kobe run. I was there for when LeBron James was 17 years old. Now look at him. I was there for the entire ride. So I understand that that's my dude. I understand because when he succeeds, I feel part of the success because I was there from day one when no one knew him. Now everybody like, yeah, I love LeBron, but I was there from high school. Like when he was on ESPN in high school games, I was there for LeBron James, and so I was along for the ride. So when he got his first title, we got our first title. But they don't do that anymore. I mean, it looks like they're trying to do it with select few people, but most of these people on this list, that should have been the way they've been doing it, and they weren't. And now they're gone. Some of these people are going to pop up on AEW. Some of these people are going to pop up on TNA. Like Aleister Black, I don't think he's going back to AEW because he didn't leave on good terms. So he's probably going to be popping on TNA. But Morrison Machine Guns, boom. The Wyatt Six, no clue where they're going to go. Individually, sure. Indies, AEW, a few of them. Maybe Bo Dallas will pop up on AEW. Eric Rowan might go back to AEW. Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, TNA, AEW, no clue. No clue where these people are going to pop up. Those NXT people, Indies probably. Adrian Chase, Mr. U guy. Like, I don't know. It's a head scratcher, and TKO just seems to just care about money, but spoiler alert, you create superstars, you create another Roman Reigns, you create another Brock Lesnar, you create another Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena's, and guess what? Hand over fist, making all the money. But they don't see it that way. They see, oh, we got these top superstars. We're going to bring in celebrities and I show speeds and whatever and make money off of these people and not look at the long term. And that's why you get to this point where you're doing budget cuts. But them CEOs ain't taking no budget cuts. Maybe they should take a budget cut and do better producing superstars, and you're gonna be printing your own money. That's all I gotta say about that. For real, do better. So let's Detroit Pistons playoff run. Number 1 seed, super hyped. They were taking on number 8 seed. I thought, the way they've been playing, they had a week off. They rested. K's healthy. Got Tobias. Got Duncan Robinson. You got Karis LeVert. You got Duran. We're going to be killing them. We're going to, maybe not sweep them, but we're going to do a gentleman sweep. We're going to kill them in Detroit. Go get one win in Orlando, maybe lose one in Orlando, come back to Detroit, win that one, go to Orlando, boom. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna win in 5, you know what I'm saying? But wow. Game 1, Orlando Magic. Yeah. Like they won last night in Detroit, game 5. They won game 5. But they still down. Like they were down. Like it's terrible. Like this could have been. Stephen A. Smith said they were going to lose in the first round, and they're about to prove him right. They're about to go back to Orlando in a must-win game 6, so they can bring it back to Detroit for game 7. Because right now, 3-2 Orlando Magic with Banchero. Franz Wagner is hurt. That's probably why they won game 5. Franz Wagner is a game changer. Desmond Bain. I'm just saying, the Orlando Magic playing with nothing to lose because they got nothing to lose. They're 8 seed. Beating the number 1 seed is game changing, and the Pistons need to wake up. They need to do what they did in game 5 every game. I don't see why they can't. Playing defense, getting turnovers, fast breaks, timely 3-pointers. Kay Cunningham dropping, damn near 40. Like, that's what they need to do every game. And then the role players doing what they need to do, double digits. Duran doing his thing, Tobias doing his thing, Duncan Robinson doing his thing, Karis LeVert coming off the bench doing his thing. That's what they need to do every single game, because if they don't, they're going to go back to Orlando and their season's over. And that number one seed and the 60-plus wins, being number one seed all year long with the likes of the league of the Sixers, the Celtics. I'm just saying, like they should not have been there. So they have nothing to lose. I know they're number one seed, but they got nothing to lose. They need to play with heart, with more heart than they did in game one. Like, they should not be in a position of that they're going do or die games. They should not be in that position. They should be up. At the very least, going to game 6 with a chance of closing out the series. But no, they got to win the next 2 games to get out of the first round. Like, the roles are reversed. The 8th seed is supposed to be reeling. The number one seed is the number one seed for a reason. And now they're looking like they look like a phony. They look like a scam. Like, if they call me right now, it would say likely scam. Like, and they're my team. They're my home team. I love me some Pistons. I've loved them since the 80s when I was like a little Bishop. So I don't know what they're doing, but they need to do more game 5. They need to do more game 2. They need to act like they're number one seed and they're there for a reason. They need to look at what they did all year long and do that all playoff long. Because if they do have a real good chance of being in the NBA Finals this year. They have a really good chance of competing in the NBA Finals and not getting swept, like a lot of teams do when they finally get to the NBA Finals. But they need to wake up and play like they played last night. Because if they don't, they're not getting out of the first round. Orlando Magic is going to move on. And they can only blame, like, the only blame can be themselves. Not Cade, though. Cade's doing, I mean, granted, he did have some timely turnovers in game 4. And that's why they didn't win that game. But I'm just saying, everything goes through you, my brother. Cade, they live and die by you. If you put up points but turn over the ball late in games, not hitting your free throws, not hitting your open threes, not getting your teammates involved in a position that they should be able to hit those jumpers, hit them threes, hit them, you know what I'm saying, hit them threes, then there's no way they're going to go forward. So you need to look in the mirror and say, take a page out of Yaxel book from U of M. No matter what happens in these games, it's not going to be on me. I'm going to do 1,000% in these games to win and put it all on the line, because there ain't no tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Going forward, there ain't no tomorrow. I don't care if they get to the second round. Play every game like it's your last. Every game like it's the closeout game or the elimination game. Because y'all need to do that. Because that's what you were doing all year long. Playing out of control. When Cade was hurt, everyone stepped up. So why aren't you stepping up now with Cade on the court? This is the playoffs. Everyone's watching you. The regular season, not everybody was watching you because you weren't on primetime games every day, every week. So going forward, you're on prime time. You're the game on, like the only game on the TV at that time. You know, you got a 7:30 spot on Peacock. You got people paying to watch you play, and these are the efforts you're giving. You got to do better. You know, you got to show the world that title town is in the state of Michigan. That the best basketball in the world comes out of Michigan, comes out of Detroit, comes out of our state. You're representing our state. U of M did what they need to do in the March Madness National Championship tournament. Now it's your turn. Step up or step aside. Because you got a whole town behind you, got a whole state behind you, looking at you saying, it's all on you. So please give a better effort, just like you did in Game 5. I got faith, so don't let me down. Don't let us down. Detroit versus everybody, like I said. Do it for us. Do it for me. Do it for you. Do it for our state. Do it for our city. Do it for our town. Just put in the effort. Play like y'all been playing. Play like I know y'all can play. And that team can go places. That team is an NBA champion contender. Just do better. Because we got you. So get us. You feel? You heard? So before we get out of here for another episode of Bishop's Breakdown, let's break down and look at the NFL. Wow. The NFL drafts picks that the Detroit Lions had. Well, the first round, they drafted Blake Miller, the offensive tackle for Clemson, to re-up their offensive line, to tighten that offensive line because it was terrible. I know they were moving pieces around. They had injuries. You're always going to have injuries in the NFL. It's a hard game. If it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it. But only a select few had the abilities to be in that position to play this game that we all love called the NFL. So they had to re-up their offensive line so they can give time for Jared Goff in the backfield to make plays to the J-Mos and the St. Browns and throwing off the Gibbs. And they needed to re-up that. So I like that pick. Then they drafted an edge rusher, Derek Moore from the Michigan Wolverines, with the round 4, 118th pick. Or no, round 2, number 4 pick. Then they also got the linebacker from Michigan, Jimmy Rolder, with the round 4, 118th pick. Then they also had to re-up on some cornerbacks, to stop the opponent's wide receivers from going wild, because the secondary was questionable last year. And so they got Keith Abner II from Arizona State. And they also got a couple of defensive linemen, one Skylar Gill Howard from Texas Tech, and the Tyree West defensive lineman. And they also got a wide receiver, Kendrick Law from Kentucky. I think they're decent picks. They re-up on offensive line. They got some defensive help to help Aiden Hutchinson, because if the quarterback has to take a couple seconds, just seconds, to try to hopefully that the wide receiver can get open with better defensive secondary, then Aiden Hutchinson and this edge rusher Derek Moore, they can get to the quarterback more. And if they get to the quarterback, now instead of 3rd and short, they got 3rd and long. And then the offense will get a shorter field. And if you get a shorter field, Jared Goff doesn't have to go deeper down the field to score points. If he has a shorter field, more touchdowns, more victories. More victories, better seeding in the playoffs. Better seeding in the playoffs, easier path to the Super Bowl. Easier path to the Super Bowl? Who knows? Lions might be in NFL champions, win Super Bowls. That's what you play the game for. You don't play the game to just get to the playoffs and lose in first round. No, you play better in the regular season to get better seedings, so you're get to the playoffs and get an easier path to the Super Bowl, to have opportunities to win championships. You know, that's what they need to do. And I think they're doing this with these draft picks. They didn't do what they used to do by getting wide receiver in the first round, but no one to throw to. No, or they have someone who's throwing it to them, like a Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, but they don't have protection for these, so they're running around for their lives and getting hit all the time and getting hurt and playing hurt. So I'm glad they got an offensive tackle with the first round. I mean, they had the 17th pick, and they got an offensive tackle because needs was better than their wants. In the past, it was about wants. Oh, we need this wide receiver. Oh, we need this guy. Oh, we need this guy. But that's not the needs. You know, just because you want that guy, do you really need him? And hopefully with this class, with this 2026 NFL draft class, the Lions will make that step forward because Chicago is looking good. You know, Green Bay Packers, like their division is only getting more stacked, so they have to keep going forward if they want to not be in the bottom of their own division, let alone in their own conference. So I'm looking forward to this Detroit Lions. The preseason is going to be interesting. I'm going to keep my eye focused on what they're going to do and how they're going to round out their 53-man roster. So the season can't come soon enough. I know people love the summer, you know, hot weather, shorts, all that, beaches, you know, vacation, but I'm a football guy. So I can't wait for college football and NFL to start back up. So hopefully the Lions can take what they got, take what they have, and do something in the regular season and do something importantly, most importantly, do something in the playoffs and make the playoffs this year. Because they got the team to do it. I know they got rid of David Montgomery and Sewell, but I feel that the nucleus that they had, that they still have, and these draft picks and the free agent signings, I think sky's the limit for these Detroit Lions, and they're gonna finally make a mark and make a statement and make noise in the playoffs. But that's our episode for the week. I'll be back in a few days for more episodes. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. Give me some more elephant in the room ideas. Hit the notification button because I'm throwing out pack openings. I've been on a mission to learn how to play One Piece, the trading card game. I used to play Magic in 8th grade, way back in the day, like 1800s. But I want to learn. I want to be able to go to tournaments and not suck. So I've been buying booster packs. I got a starter pack. My boy, we're going to be learning how to do that together. I bought a pack that we can learn together. He got his starter pack. I got my starter pack, so we can at least get the basics, you know, so I can start going to tournaments, do a little buy-in, you know, play some games, maybe win some tournaments. Maybe I'll be in regional. Maybe going forward, I can be in nationals. Maybe I can be that guy winning tournaments, winning these 50 grand tournaments. Or just winning basic tournaments locally. Either way, I'm just trying to have some fun with anime that I really enjoy. I enjoy me some One Piece. I mean, IShowSpeed is a fan too. So I love me some One Piece. I love me some Monkey D. Luffy and some Zoro and some Nami and some Chomper and some like I love all that stuff. That stuff is super interesting to me. I mean, look right there. We got some Chomper right there. So, like I said, follow my journey. That's why you got to hit the notification because I'll randomly throw some pack openings. I try to get some WWE Chrome cards. I've been doing openings of that. I would love to get some NFL Topps Chrome or some NBA Topps Chrome That cosmic set looks amazing, but they want me to give up a liver, a lung, some blood, my firstborn child, just to get a pack of cards for a chance to get nothing. But that's the trader hobby. But that One Piece, man, once I learn how to play this game, it's over for y'all guys. It's over for y'all. You're gonna get these hands. You know what I mean? So, like I said, hit that notification. Check out my journey. Hopefully, you'll see me on more videos. If not, check me out next week, because same time, same bishop place. You feel me? Because like a great man once said, deuces, ooses.